Eating alone is far superior to eating with people. You can enjoy your food with no distractions, don't have to worry about taking a bite then having to chew fast so you don't talk with a full mouth, no judgment, and overall it is a much better experience. I will go so far as to eat only a few bites of my meal at a restaurant and take the rest home just to eat it alone. Try it sometime. I totally read the title as eating people is far superior to eating with people. I love going to cafes and restaurants alone. I sketch, read books or type away with my laptop and it's such a refreshing thing to do. Only instances when I prefer eating with people is if there's an interesting conversation. I love watching a movie or video while eating by myself, also I feel uncomfortable when others watch me eat. This feels popular and unpopular at the same time. I agree, and my Italian in-laws are completely bewildered whenever I even touch upon this sentiment, and you can lick the plate without judgment. Movies are much better alone as well. Pick your own time, show up when you want, bring whatever snacks you don't have to share. Pick wherever you want to sit. Agree. Eating with people is stressful. Extrovert here, yes, I hate having the constant chatter of other people while eating food, and this is just so agreeable. This is not an unpopular opinion on Reddit. I definitely feel this. As someone who frequently has to burp while eating in order to feel better stomach-wise, it's so freeing to burp as much as I want. When I used to live with roommates, the unwritten rule was, when someone's food is ready the conversation is over. We didn't want to chat and eat, we'd much rather eat alone. I would phrase it differently. Eating alone is not inferior to eating with people, but it's not superior either, in my opinion. Both have positives and negatives, but I would add that it's strange that eating alone is regarded as sad. Upvoted for a good and probably mostly unpopular opinion. I wouldn't agree that it's always far superior cause I enjoy a good meal while talking to friends, but I do love eating alone. It baffles me that some people almost can't go somewhere alone in public and just enjoy their own company. Had a co-worker who absolutely would not go to a restaurant himself. On a day he was craving a certain restaurant, he'd walk around the whole office asking people to go. But if nobody did, he would just not get the food he wanted. In half and half. Sometimes it's nice eating with friends. Me and my friends in college used to call going to the dining hall and getting lunch family time, and that we had to go get lunch together, otherwise we would rag on each other all week. There were some days we would go and chat for hours, and then there were some days where we were so tired that we wouldn't say anything throughout the whole meal, and we all understood that nothing should be said. Like I said, I also get the peace and quiet of eating alone. I usually don't eat in the dining hall on campus alone because I'm a RA and I usually run into my residents and end up sitting with them while I eat. This led me to start going and getting a sub to go and eating it on my bed. I don't know, something about sitting on your bed and opening a wrap sub and watching TV just hits different. People watching me eat gets me very uncomfortable, and if you do accidentally chew with your mouth open, you don't have worry about people embarrassing you and making it seem like you've committed the worst crime ever. Choking. I couldn't agree more. Reading this while reading lunch in my car because co-workers are useless at social distancing. Amen. I spent a lot time in coffee shops studying in between my marriages. I was single for 7 years in Canada on and off. Studies are my go-to solace. Maybe I should do a PhD. Studying is easier than working. Agreed. And dinner first. Phew, dates are the absolute worst. I would argue that preparing and sharing a meal with friends is far superior to being alone all the time. Yet, just let me eat my food without constantly talking to me, making me respond with a mouthful of chow. I agree. Sometimes I like eating with friends, but usually I just like scrolling through Reddit alone and enjoying my food. I'm a mega slow eater. Always the last to finish when people are around. Also, yeah, can't really fart if you're not alone, and I enjoy farting very much. I deal with chronic nausea and eating alone is often the only way I can comfortably eat. I'll put on the white noise machine we use to help our kids stay asleep, maybe even put on a show on my phone that's not hard to pay attention to and doesn't rely on a lot of physical or unspoken elements, keep the lights low or off, and slowly make my way through the meal. And on days when the nausea isn't that big of an issue, it's still so peaceful to sit alone and not feel rushed, watched, have questions asked if you, etc. I've never understood the idea of lunch meetings. And always hated big get-togethers at restaurants for events or birthdays or whatever. Just let me eat alone. I like eating alone because it is quick and efficient. I can order my food, get it and focus on eating instead of a conversation and be in and out in under half an hour at even a sit-down restaurant. I have a bit of a thing about watching people chew, so I'm kind of supporting this opinion. When I eat buffalo wings, I make so many ugly faces from my mouth all full of chicken and a bunch of sauce around my mouth, that I have to eat alone. I feel you though. Eating alone is much better as there is no judgment. No matter how confident you are, it's just less stressful eating alone. In the dark. In front of easy to watch TV, more specifically drunk at 3 in the morning. I eat people too, they never complain. The fucking chewing. Even if they close their mouths, the noise of the fluids and solids sloshing around in their cockseekers is almost unbearable. I prefer sitting next to people than opposite, something weird about sitting watching someone eat. I have misophonia, so this is real to me as hell. Agreed. Especially since people make fun of me for being a slow eater. Takes me about 25 to 30 minutes to finish a meal. Apparently I am supposed to eat in 5. Checklist for the best meal ever. 1. Nice, cool room. 2. Rain, or clouds. 3. Comfortable headphones. 4. Any episode of The Office. 5. A jug of water so you don't have to get up. 6. An empty bladder.